Good morning, K1 friends. We're going to continue with our bird unit. Keep watching the eagles and the eaglets.
They're so cute, and they're getting big. Like, how did they grow? Oh, you guys don't know. There was actually the break in recording these videos, so they got bigger in the 4 days since we recorded last time. But you guys haven't seen this break like we did.
And I'm not sure if that's the mama or the daddy. I have to find out if you can tell a difference. I don't know. It's windy.
Oh, and I went hiking last weekend and we saw a real live golden eagle. It was amazing. The wingspan, so the length of its wing from tip to tip was taller than my husband.
Wow.
It was huge.
So 6 foot more.
It was like 6.5 feet, 7 feet. It was crazy. Anyway.
Yeah, keep watching those birds, because our question might have been today, what does an ornithologist study?
Oh.
What do they study? Birds, which is what we're doing. So keep watching, looking in your backyard, listen for birds to see what they might be. The last time we talked, it was about the eggs, because all birds lay eggs and their babies hatch from eggs. So today we're going to talk about how some birds build nests for their eggs and babies, kind of like our eagles here. And at the very beginning, when I announced the eagles and watching them live, we talked about how big their nests are, from the very tips and even how deep. Because they fill it, if you look, when you look at the video, there's sticks and there's straw and there's paper and there's all kinds of things that are in a nest. And then Miss Kathy can even get a close-up look here at this nest that someone gave to us to look at. If you would be here in the class, we'd be using our magnifying glass to check it out, to see all the different things that you would find.
It's kind of amazing when you look at it, that a bird can like weave together kind of, and then if you look inside, it's almost like they use dirt to like line it so that they would stay together.
Yeah, because like the bottom here is kind of falling apart, but I try and keep it safe. So if you ever find an empty nest, check it out, look at it, investigate, study, see what kind of bird could it have been. But back to the eagle's nest, remember we talked about the size, about an average size of one, not everyone is the same, it depends, is about as big as our rainbow rug. So from all the way around, and as tall from our rug to the ceiling.
Whoa,
so
that's
they can get
crazy.
pretty deep, as you could even see with this one, you know, it's just this little
down.
Bird, but they fill it so it stays together. Oh, look, there's more of the dirt.
Oh, you
right
can
there
see
that you
it.
can see when I turn it upside down.
That birds can do those things.
And here's one of those little feathery
grass
pieces that they just used. So investigate. So let's read a book while we watch them eat. Nope, she's going to snuggle down.
Oh, it's nap time.
It's time to sleep. They've eaten already. So we're going to read nests. And we're going to get to see some different types of nests and the birds that they do. So I'll tell you what the birds are from the back. So this is a nest.
Oh,
and this
is a tiny little bird.
I know, a baby barn swallow. You'd find this.
That looks like a hummingbird.
I know, it does look like a
hummingbird. That is a hummingbird.
I wonder if, oh, it's the front. The front is the baby barn
I'm like, that's
swallow.
not a barn swallow.
And then the next one is the hummingbird. And actually, they are so tiny. Look, it's on a pine cone. Do you see that?
Wow.
Their little nest is on a pine cone.
And we officially have hummingbirds in Salt Lake. They have arrived. They're starting.
And they say these nests are like an inch wide. So an inch is like this much of my finger. Very small. Because they have very tiny eggs. So to see one of those is cool.
I want to see a hummingbird
My grandma would
egg.
always have one in her front porch, and they'd take a picture of it all the time.
We have a nesting pair in our backyard, but we don't know where the nest is. We just know they're back there somewhere.
And there's what we're watching. A nest can be in a tree. So there's the bald eagle, and they build the nest out of twigs and branches, and it's usually very high up. And this is called, and then this one is a blue jay. Look at all the pretty blues on there. And the blue jay is incubating the eggs, so she's sitting on them, keeping them warm. And this is called brooding, when they sit on the egg to keep them warm until they hatch.
Look, the eagle's never done this before. It's like sitting up, and then the little babies are in front of it.
Because they're getting so big, she can't cover them anymore.
Isn't that funny? It's so cute. No babies. Oh, she must be sitting on one of the babies.
Yeah, I don't see another one. That one was ready to sleep. Look at them.
They're so big now.
I know. All right, I gotta touch them. The nest is, a nest can be in a hole. So we've done a trees that has been in a tree. The first one was on a pine cone. So this one, what do you think he's in? Looks like a cactus to me. So this bird is an elf owl, and it's nested inside a thorny shelter of a tall saguaro cactus. So sometimes when there's holes in trees, the birds take over. And then we've got this little guy. What do you think he is? This is a bluebird, and he's ready to made protection of a hollow tree to make his nest in, and of twigs and grasses. And that's where they're gonna have, look,
See
she's
the
feeding the
baby.
little baby, if you can see close up. She's feeding the baby inside. That's a bright blue. Nests can be in the air, hanging down from a tree branch. How cool is that? This is a baya weaver bird. And this one is another one. Look at him hanging upside down, holding on his nest. These I have never seen in person. That would be kind of cool.
Yeah, I don't know if we have birds that
Yeah.
nest like that in Utah.
They're from a family of birds, and they're the master of nest building. They each begin their nest with a strand of grass. That's what they start with.
Wow.
And it's knotted in a branch, and the bird then weaves a ring of grass while standing in the middle. And they just slowly suspend there.
That is
kinda
crazy.
cool.
I wonder how long it takes them to make
No,
it.
it doesn't say, but that would be kind of cool. I bet if you looked it up, I'm going to look for video, maybe a time-lapse one.
Oh, that's a good idea.
I will look for that. And then we have nests can be in the mud.
Oh.
So these two birds do their nests in the mud. So we've got the bronze wing jacana, and it makes a shallow nest in the mud. And who knows what this one is called? This bird, what do you think? It's a flamingo, and it is definitely has its specific shape. And sometimes 2 feet high, their nests are made out of mud. So kind of like maybe up to your knee. That's how big their nest could be, how tall. That's pretty cool. All right, can't turn this next page. Here we go. A nest can just be on the ground. Nothing special, no nest made around it. They just find a little hole. Look at, oh, do you know
What kind
that
of bird is that?
If you watched a video, you might remember seeing that. So that's our ostrich. The ostrich makes just a shallow spot on the ground for its eggs, in which the biggest of all, they're 6 to 8 inches are the eggs, and that's where they nest, just in the ground. Then this one, what do you think is around those eggs? What does it look like? This is the nest of the blue-winged teal duck, and the eggs of ground nesters are often speckled to aid in camouflage. It doesn't say what's around them.
I think it's feathers.
They look soft. Yeah, because, oh yeah, you can tell when it goes around the egg.
Yeah, I think some birds, they'll even pull some of their own feathers to help build their nests.
Crazy. And then we have the last one, nest, and more nests.
Those are...
What do you think those are? And of course, they don't have it here. Oh, it's a cliff swallow nest, and they don't give me any information.
They're made of mud.
So, yep. And so they peek out. Look at them all together. Usually you don't find many nests together, but here, the cliff swallows, because they probably do them on a cliff. So lots of different sizes and shapes and things that nests are made of. The ones we're used to seeing are usually out of twigs and things that the birds find. Some of you, if you were here, maybe our first graders might remember the doves that were in our tree in the playground. We lifted many of you to look at it. Now they don't nest there, but maybe now because there's no one here. So just be watching, looking at the nest, investigating. Just remember, if there's eggs in them or babies, don't go near it until after they've flown away, because you don't want to disrupt that growing time and developing time that the mamas and daddies have with them. All right, enjoy watching the eagles, and I will look for one of those nests being built if I can find a cool video. And we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.